Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk with me, Pop. This is your industrial stream on a Tuesday night. All right, so we're going to get to some news and some pictures and such like that later on. But first, we gotta say hello to the chat. Hey there, B17. Nice to see you. You're writing an essay. What is your essay on? And then there's DJ Runny G. What's up, DJ? Are you just getting home there, buddy? See, you guys are Bombardier. You have the ship. There you go. I think I know that reference. You gotta ask, do you have an opinion as to whether the Norden bomb site was hyped up excessively or just a tad? The old Norden bomb site, eh? I think I heard a little bit about that. Saw a clip from Masters of the Air. Pilot lines up for the bombing run. He hands control over the autopilot, which is tied into the bomb site. Yes, it is. You bet. Another good one to watch is Memphis Belle. If you ever want to watch a good show about those flying fortresses, watch Memphis Belle. That's a really good. It's got Sean Astin in it. It's pretty darn good. And hey, David Glenn, how you doing? Still stuck watching on your phone? Oh man, been a while now. I know you're just gonna soldier on there, David. You can do it, man. So the bombardier effectively had control after a fashion. He turns knobs and looks at the crosser. Yep. The usage of psychiatric medications and their possible problems. Oh, yeah. Yeah, altering the mind with medications from the pharmaceutical companies is not ever really anything good. They are not out there to cure anybody. They're out there to make money. Lots of money. All right, let's get to the news here. Let's see what's going on out in industry. Courtesy of Plant Magazine. This one here, IPEX. I believe they make plastic pipe. But IPEX opens a $30 million advanced research center in Mississauga. For those of you that don't know, that's out in Ontario, back east. Treatment versus fixing and curing. Yeah, DJ, you know where it's at. IPEX, a plastic pipes and fittings innovation company, officially opened the IPEX Center for Advanced Research, a $30 million facility dedicated to accelerating product innovation and reinforcing the company's manufacturing operations across North America. Located at 6760 Campobello Road, the new center consolidates IPEX's innovation processes and will enable the company to bring new products to market faster while continuing to develop sustainable piping solutions. The facility will serve a range of customer needs across municipal, industrial, commercial, and residential sectors. You're autistic yourself, so it's a bit of a touchy subject. I see. There's been some back and forth online about whether the Norden site was garbage or not. I can't say for sure, DJ. I've never looked into the bomb sites or the technology of World War II. It's probably useful, but it may not have been the game changer it was made out to be. Whoever built it is going to talk it up, of course, and say how good it is. Then again, during wartime, I believe they were taking anything they could get. Yeah, any improvements, they were good. They were going to just jump on them. The facility features over 50,000 square feet of operational space dedicated to testing and developing new products, trialing new material formulations, office space, and a training and collaboration area where customers can co-create and experience new product innovations firsthand. IPEX says it will employ advanced technology, including 3D printing and AI, to streamline product development further. Our new innovation hub is a significant investment in our ability to develop high-quality, safe, and easy-to-install products that meet the needs of our customers, while supporting our communities, said Alex Mestres, Chief Executive Officer at IPEX. For more than 50 years, our R&D teams have collaborated closely with our customers to stay ahead of market demands evolving regulations and environmental changes to develop products and exceed industry expectations. Our new Center for Advanced Research marks a new chapter in our innovation history and capability. Yes, David, exactly. IPEX makes PVC pipe that can be heat welded together. You got her. Yeah, it even says here, IPEX specializes in developing new products, refining manufacturing processes, and advancing research and development. The new IPEX Center for Advanced Research will aim to enhance the company's ability to test and iterate products, providing engineers and material specialists with more opportunities to collaborate, experiment, and innovate. Look at all those happy people. They don't even look. They're not dirty, so I doubt they even work there. They're probably the office staff and the managers. I bet you they're not even the people that work on the floor. Oh, it says Doug Ford's there, so yeah, the premier of Alberta's there. So these are people that never lifted a heavy thing in their entire lives, never did a lick of work. Moving along here, the S&P and TSX Composite ticks higher, and the U.S. stock markets fall. That was on the 16th. I don't know if that's so interesting, but Ontario introduces legislation to remove interprovincial trade barriers. This is a big thing because I don't know if you guys have like state trade barriers from one state to another, but apparently we have them here provincially, from province to province. The Ontario government has introduced legislation to enable free trade and labor mobility within Canada. For too long, we let red tape and endless regulations hold back our economy, making us vulnerable to external threats, including from President Trump's tariffs, said Premier Doug Ford. Not anymore. The legislation we're introducing today will make Ontario a national leader when it comes to trade between provinces and territories, so we can strengthen and unify Canada and create new markets and opportunities for Ontario workers and goods. The Ontario government says trade barriers within Canada cost the economy up to $200 billion each year and lower gross domestic product by nearly 8%. If passed, the Protect Ontario Through Free Trade Within Canada Act will remove Ontario's party-specific exceptions under the Free Trade Agreement, expand labor mobility as with new as-of-right rules, allowing certified workers from other provinces and territories to begin working in Ontario immediately while they complete a streamlined registration process. Hey, what's up, James? How you doing? There are towns that but there are towns that charge extra taxes. Ah, okay. So we're getting down to the civil level. What else will it do? It'll enable mutual recognition with reciprocating provinces and territories so that goods, services, and registered workers that are good enough for other parts of Canada are recognized as good enough for sale, use, or work in Ontario. Enable direct-to-consumer alcohol sales with reciprocating provinces and territories so that consumers will be able to purchase alcohol directly from producers across Canada for personal consumption. And establish a Buy Ontario, Buy Canadian Day held annually on the last Friday in June to help consumers support local businesses and workers through programs such as Ontario Made, Ontario Wood, VQA, and Foodland Ontario. You think something about soda in Pennsylvania a few years ago? Oh, okay. Ontario is also launching a new $50 million Ontario Together Trade Fund to help businesses make near-term investments so they can serve more interprovincial customers, develop new markets, and reshore critical supply chains, strengthening Ontario's trade security and diversification. As part of this effort, Ontario is signing memorandums of understanding with Nova Scotia and New Brunswick that will bolster interprovincial trade. These MOUs will support the reciprocal removal of barriers to trade between Ontario and Nova Scotia and Ontario and New Brunswick by advancing mutual recognition such that a good service or registered worker that is acceptable for sale, use, or work in one province is acceptable in the other. Ontario will also work with Nova Scotia and with New Brunswick on a framework for direct-to-consumer alcohol sales so that producers have easier access to new market opportunities, and so the consumers have greater choice and access to a broader selection of alcoholic beverages. This collaboration will enhance economic resilience, create job opportunities, and set a precedent for other provinces to follow. Ontario is Canada's largest interprovincial trader. In 2023, two-way trade in goods and services between Ontario and its provincial and territorial counterparts resulted in $326 billion in economic activity. Okay. I mean, I'm all for bringing down trade barriers between the provinces. It's just protectionism is what it is. So if they can do that and, nobody has to suffer too much, we'll gladly, buy stuff from other provinces. What else we got here? Oh, Honda shifting some production from Japan to the U.S. in latest response to tariffs. Let's have a look here. Honda says it's shifting some vehicle production from Japan to the U.S. in the latest example of automakers working to adapt to new tariffs. Company spokesman Chris Abruzzese said Honda currently produces the Civic hatchback hybrid both in Indiana and Japan, but later this year will be produced only at the Indiana plant. Hey, what's up, Comic Relief Crusader? How was your titillating Tuesday? We're just going over a few things here. They're looking at Honda shifting more production to the U.S. rather than in Japan there. Trump was going to remove the licensing fee for alternative fuels like moonshine. Almost no one makes shine for their car. However, they should. Can mill the heads for better power or fuel efficiency. Okay. A news report out of Japan raised concerns in Canada this week that Honda would also shift some production to the U.S. from its Alliston, Ontario operations, but the company said it has no plans to do so. Premier Doug Ford said Tuesday the company had told him it was looking to boost U.S. production, but not at the expense of its Canadian operations. Honda's Ontario operations started producing the sedan version of the Civic Hybrid last year and also produces conventional and hybrid versions of its CR-V model. Unifor said it was encouraged by Honda's reassurances on its Canadian production, but said production plans could change at any time. Oh, what's up, Aris? How you doing? Good to see ya. It was good, but an attack from another YouTuber. What? You don't go around attacking other YouTubers. That's just weak. People get in fights how to pronounce New Brunswick like Newfoundland. Yes, is it Newfoundland or is it Newfoundland? Or is it Newfieland? Where they all talk funny like that, by over in the rock. But no, New Brunswick is New Brunswick. That's it. I don't think they can say it any differently. This country so far, nice. Unifor said it was encouraged by Honda's reassurances on its Canadian production, but said production plans could change at any time. From our experience of dealing with automakers and the industry, we understand better than anyone that assurances from automakers are one thing, but we need a carrot and stick approach to ensure accountability, said Unifor National President Lana Payne. In a statement late Tuesday, we must develop industrial policy to encourage investment and also implement tough penalties for companies that shift jobs south to appease Trump's agenda. Well, I don't think it's his agenda. I think somebody's telling him what to do. Yeah, everybody, David's still stuck on his phone. That sucks. Newfie's close to Quebec, so that explains them being weird. Well, it's actually there's Newfoundland and Labrador. Labrador is part of the mainland, and Newfoundland is the island. So, U.S. and global economic outlook deteriorates in Trump trade war, IMF says. Oh, the IMF. These clowns are going to weigh in. The U.S. and global economies will likely slow significantly in the wake of Donald Trump's tariffs and the uncertainty they have created, the International Monetary Fund said Tuesday. The IMF is no better. The IMF gives loans, and then when you can't pay them back, they confiscate your land. So The IMF are terrible. They are not about helping anybody. You overate? Tummy ache just ended from supper? Wow. Gotta be careful, man. The IMF said the global economy will grow just 2.8% this year, down from its forecast in January of 3.3%, according to the latest World Economic Outlook. And in 2026, global growth will be 3%. The fund predicts also below its previous 3.3% estimate. What's up, Godzillionaire? Everyone's favorite kaiju. Speaking of three-letter clowns, did you see the new head of the WEF is the Nestle CEO that said no one deserves access to clean water? Yeah, I didn't see that, but it doesn't surprise me. You've got these sociopaths that just go from one industry to another, one place to another. It's not any surprise. He's probably no different than the old guy that left there, Klaus, whatever his name is. But yeah, the IMF, the WEF, it's just they're just not something anybody should listen to. It was sushi, so small. You should know better than eat gas station sushi. Yeah. The fund sees the world's two largest economies, China and the United States, weakening. U.S. economic growth will come in at just 1.8% this year, down sharply from its previous forecast of 2.7%, and a full percentage point below its 2024 expansion. The IMF doesn't expect a U.S. recession, though it has raised its odds of one this year from 25% to 40%. China is now projected to expand 4% this year, and next down roughly half a point from its previous forecasts. It's Nestle, go figure, the same people who tainted the food supply so they had to buy Nestle products for baby food. Oh, yeah. Was it Santa Claus, DJ? He drops work permits instead of presents. There you go. We are entering a new era, Pierre-Olivier Gourinchas, chief economist at the IMF, said. This global economic system that has operated for the last 80 years is being reset. Oh, man, where have we heard that before? They keep yapping it up about this stupid, the Great Reset. And the only people that are going to benefit is the people that are extremely rich. Your average person is not going to benefit from a so-called Great Reset. So it is not something that anybody should be looking forward to. They keep pushing it and pushing it. You ate questionable sushi today. It gave you transient gas. But could you use it in your car? It's environmentally friendly. Rope reuses well. The forecasts underscore the widespread impact of both the tariffs and the uncertainty they have created. Every country in the world is affected. The IMF said by hikes in U.S. import taxes, they have now lifted average U.S. duties to about 25%, the highest in a century. The forecasts are largely in line with many private sector economists' expectations, though some do fear a recession is increasingly likely. Economists at J.P. Morgan say the chances of a U.S. recession are now 60%. The Federal Reserve has also forecast that growth will weaken this year to 1.7%. The IMF is a 191-nation lending organization that works to promote economic growth and financial stability to reduce global poverty. That last statement, that was a 100% lie. They may have written it to read that way, but that is a fabrication on their part. They do not promote economic growth. They do not help with financial stability, and they don't help reduce global poverty. It is a lie. Gourinchas said the heightened uncertainty around the import taxes led the IMF to take the unusual step of preparing several different scenarios for future growth. Its forecasts were finalized April 4th after the Trump administration announced sweeping tariffs on nearly 60 countries, along with nearly universal 10% duties. Those duties were paused April 9th for 90 days. Gordon Chess says the pause didn't substantially change the IMS forecast because the U.S. and China have imposed such steep tariffs on each other since then. Is that like screen tearing, but in your pants? You use it on a hybrid electric propane bus. There you go. You saw a CNG bus on fire on the Stash D channel. Okay. Hey, what's up, Gap? How you doing? Nice to see ya. And the cake is a lie, too. Yes, Godzillionaire. 100%. A lot of those loans end up hurting everyone. You betcha. 100. Yeah, exactly, James. You know it. The Trump administration has slapped duties on cars, steel, and aluminum, as well as a 25% import tax on most goods from Canada and Mexico. The White House has also imposed 10% tariffs on nearly all imports and a huge 145% duty on goods from China, though smartphone and computers have been exempted. China has retaliated with 105% duties on U.S. goods. The uncertainty surrounding the Trump administration's next move will also likely weigh heavily on U.S. and global economies, the IMF said. Most traded goods are parts that feed into finished products, and the tariffs could disrupt supply chains, similar to what occurred during the pandemic, Gordon just warned in a blog post. Companies facing uncertain markets will likely pause in the near term, reduce investment, and cut spending, he wrote. The U.S. tariffs are also expected to hit less developed nations, with Mexico's economy now expected to shrink this year by 0.3%, down from a previous projection of 1.4%. South Africa is forecast to grow just 1% this year, down from 1.5%. You still like them more than other EVs? Good if they recycle exhaust particulates in dense areas? Oh yeah, no, reduce exhaust particulates, yes. The U.S. loans money to Chad. Chad defaults. U.S. taxpayers end up paying the loan, and Chad still has debt somehow. It's a big old scam. Yep. But I'm sure the U.S. will do something else to Chad, like be like, oh, well, if you have diamond mines, we'll take that diamond mine. Or if you have coal, we'll take that coal. Or whatever they might have as a natural resource. They'll be like, well, you defaulted on the loan, so we'll take this as compensation. Slap tariffs on fortune cookies. Yeah. When you crack it open and look at it, it just tells you how much you got to pay. Oh, 10%. Oh. We must have status quo, even if the status quo is awful. Arrgh. While the U.S. economy will likely suffer a supply shock, Gordon Chess says China is expected to experience reduced demand as U.S. purchases of its exports fall. Inflation will likely worsen in the United States, rising to about 3% by the end of the year, while it will be little changed in China. In his blog post, Gordon Chess acknowledged that there is an accurate perception that globalization unfairly displaces many domestic manufacturing jobs and added there is some merit to these grievances. But he added that the deeper force behind this decline is technological progress and automation, not globalization. Of course, don't ever blame globalization. No, don't. That's a good thing. You want globalization, right? Yeah. Freaking liar. He noted that both Germany, which has a goods trade surplus, and the U.S., which has a deficit, have seen factory output remain relatively level in recent decades, even as automation has caused manufacturing employment to decline. The IMF expects the tariffs to take a big chunk out of China's economy, but it also forecasts that additional spending by the Chinese government will offset much of the hit. The European Union is forecast to grow more slowly, but the hit from tariffs is not as large, in part because of it is facing lower U.S. duties in China. In addition, some of the hit from tariffs will be offset by stronger government spending by Germany. The economies of the 27 countries that use the euro are forecast to expand 0.8% this year and 1.2% next year, just down 0.2% from both years. Japan's growth forecast has been marked down to 0.6% this year and next 0.5% and 0.2% lower than January, respectively. In a separate report Tuesday, the IMF warned that global financial stability risks have increased significantly, along with the deteriorating economic outlook. The fund noted that some stock and bond prices remain high despite the recent market rout triggered by Trump's tariffs, which means they are vulnerable to further drops. In case anyone hasn't figured it out yet, if you are in the stock market, get out. Get out now. Get out. Don't stay. It's not meant to help the average person out. It's gonna crash, and it's gonna take everybody with it. The IMF also cautioned that some financial institutions could come under strain in volatile markets. So they're talking bank failures, pointing in particular to heavily indebted hedge funds and asset management companies and the risk that they will be forced to raise cash by selling investments into an already fragile market. So yeah, bank failures. They're warning it of us. They're warning it to us right now that there's going to be some bank failures. That happened in 2008. Look at Lehman Brothers. Anyway, that's enough of that happy news. Get out of the stock market for a few months, then get back in. That's how these clowns make money. They sell, crash the market, then buy back. Yes. Yep. You know where it's at, Godzilla. That's the whole game. Hype it up, get everybody in there, and then crash it, make everybody panic so that they're willing to sell off at any price, preferably a low price, and then these guys swoop in and buy it all up. And, oh, hey, look what I own now. Hey, Nico, man, what a blast from the past. I haven't seen you in so long. Hope you're doing all right. It's been a long time. BlackRock goes under, you're okay with eating yard grass for the next decade? I mean, BlackRock, yeah, they own so much. It's unreal. But they're the ones that swoop in and snap everything up. So they're the ones probably causing a lot of the turmoil and trouble. It's just, I've never gotten into the stock market. I've wanted to, I've looked at it. You know, you've tried to do your studying or whatnot and research. But when I found out about high frequency trading and all that, it's like, well, I can't even do that. When they're using computers to make, trades in milliseconds back and forth, I can't do that. I have no idea how I would even get that started. But yeah, it's something that it's not meant. It's rigged. It's a rigged game, and the best thing to do is not play. You weren't expecting Blast from the Past? Feels old. Yeah, well. Like I say, it's been a while. Nico. It's good to have you around. You're not seeing in real estate prices falling yet, but you're looking. You want a house, tired of enriching your landlord? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the last one was 2008, where things were just crashing all over the place. I wasn't in the US at the time, but wait 6 to 12 months, the housing market is about to collapse, and you will be able to get a 2009 level deal. There you go. Godzillionaire knows. See, because he not only, he helps, right? Because he comes in, he rampages, he flattens the place, and then, things get bought up cheap, and then he leaves. Get a chainsaw and some hot glue, build one. It's stupid to buy all gold and silver, says the guy who doesn't exactly explain how to trade the right way. That's right. Exactly. Don't listen to these guys. These Jim Rickards and there's that guy the famous guy that just yaps it up on his, it's a buy. Don't listen to those guys. Do what you think is right. Do your research. Watch some videos on monetary history. And do your research, and you'll decide what's best for you, how you think you should be saving or investing your money. Like, oh, is that Kramer? No, not Cosmo Kramer, DJ. Jerry. No, it's the other guy, the stock guy. Can Godzillionaire be hired to do demolition? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's very affordable too. Let's get to the news here. Seaway news. I don't know where this is from, but let's see. The grand reopening of this machine shop at St. Lawrence College's Cornwall campus marked a major milestone in the region's skilled trades training landscape thanks to a $100,000 gift from the RBC Foundation. RBC is just the Royal Bank of Canada. That's all it is. Supporting the newly launched SLC Skills Start program. Jim Kramer, that's it. He's just a pitchman with a show. Oh, sure. He probably just, pumps up whatever stock that pays him. Hey, make this stock sound great. I'm sure they do that. This article's not that long. Let's see. Designed to address the growing shortage of skilled tradesmen in Eastern Ontario, the 17-week program trains participants in industrial mechanic millwright. Hey, that's my trade. Combining classroom learning with a paid work placement. 13 learners are currently finishing their in-class portion before heading into the field. We are proud and honored to celebrate the reopening of the machine shop and the inaugural cohort of the SLC Skills Start program, said Aidan Warnes, Associate Dean of the School of Skilled Trades. This is another good news story for trades in Ontario, particularly here in Cornwall. Yo, what's up, Veritex? How you doing, man? Kramer's a moron. When he says buy, you know to sell. Just do the opposite of what he says. Yeah. Stansberry seems to know his stuff. Predicted the downfall of GE due to way too much debt. Okay. Yes, when people can do that, that's good though. They're gonna be able to see things like, oh, these guys are in debt. They are going to go under. So when you have people that can see that from miles away, if they can dig through, because I'm sure there's a lot of subterfuge from the companies. They don't want people to know how much in debt they are. Otherwise, the shareholders are, the share stock just plummets and all that kind of good stuff. So they probably try to hide it in their reports. But if people can read carefully and see what's going on, then they can come up with stuff like that. And those are the people that you have to, well, you shouldn't have to, but the people you want to listen to are the ones who can read between the lines and see what's really going on. Glenn Volbrick, SLC President and CEO, called the RBC Foundation support nothing short of a game changer. He added their donation removes significant financial barriers and helps open doors for individuals looking to enter a high-demand career. We're also thrilled to announce that our Cornwall campus has officially been approved as a training delivery agent for the millwright trade. Hey, all right. For Chris Pedro, a Skills Start participant with 15 years in manufacturing, the program is a dream come true. The Skills Start program has provided me with essential skills and knowledge I need to be successful. I'll forever be grateful for this opportunity, he said. Debt is a promise of future economic activity. Yes, DJ, 100%. You know it. Like the U.S. government, too much debt. Yes, James, but who do they owe the debt to? They keep saying how our countries are in debt. But who does the money get owed to? They don't ever tell us. It's like, oh yeah, the company's in debt. Okay, to who? I don't get it. Too much leverage is no bueno. You hate citations with a passion. Ha! You got to do that for your SAA. Okay. Hey guys, don't forget, please smack that like button if you could. I'd really appreciate it. Depending on which platform you're on, I am currently on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. So whatever that particular platform is, whether it's following or leaving a thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate it. Bondholders, mostly banks. The probably the central banks, because I think the central banks are the ones that actually print the money in exchange for bonds. So the Treasury makes bonds and they give them to the Federal Reserve in exchange for however much they made them for. So if they make $1 billion worth of bonds and give it to the Federal Reserve gives them $1 billion worth of currency. And now the IRS is guaranteeing the return of that $1 billion. That's why the IRS was created, because they created the Federal Reserve. The IRS was created as an insurance that they would always get paid back from the government. That's what that is. Fractional reserve banking is the devil, Godzilla. You know it. JP Morgan Chase and about a dozen other mega banks, aka the Fed. Yes. Federal Reserve is not part of the government. It's privately owned. It was started by Warburg and Rockefeller, those guys that met at Jekyll Island. They brought the Federal Reserve into being back in 1913, and then surprise, surprise, in 1914 World War I started. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that was planned out because they knew that they were going to need lots of money. Wars cost money, and banks love wars because they get to lend money. Japan has a 200% debt to GDP ratio, but their citizens own most of it. Ah, yes. Yeah, it just means you can make up money. That's exactly it. Occasionally, the Fed buys bonds with printed money. So I'm going to say, if you guys ever want to learn about monetary history, look up a fella named Mike Maloney on YouTube. He did a 6 or 7 part series called The Hidden Secrets of Money. Yes, Creature from Jekyll Island. That's the one, James. Exactly. But if you guys want to learn monetary history, watch Mike Maloney. His videos are about an hour long or so, but he explains it from the very beginning, like 5,000 years ago when they were using gold, to now. And he explains it very well so that anybody can, even I understood it. So, hey, he explained it so I could understand it. But I would do a very poor job trying to explain everything like that. So he does it really well. The bankers against the Fed went down with the Titanic. There you go. Money Masters. Yes, that's what was his name? First name was Bill, I think. Bill something or other. But yeah, he did Money Masters. I watched that too. That was a good one. Really explains to you what goes on. Let's finish up the old article here. Dakota McLean, the program coordinator for a welding instructor at SLC, emphasized the importance of creating access for all. Programs like this are amazing ways to bring people, especially those who may not have considered trades before, into industries that are in need of workers, she said. The shop's reopening follows a 2-year community drive initiative. Daniel Lau, Dean of Applied Science, Technology, and Trade, said Cornwall has transformed into a manufacturing and logistics hub. The time was right to bring this facility back to life and launch a program that removes barriers for local residents to enter the trade. I don't know what barriers they're talking about. I really don't. As long as you can pay, you can go to post-secondary education. Like that's a no-brainer. The Wikipedia history of banking article is actually... Oh, okay, good, James. Yes. Yeah, thanks for that. It's that's good. If anybody wants to look it up and have a good read. Ryan Smith, RBC's Regional Vice President for Eastern Ontario, said supporting initiatives like Skill Starts aligns with RBC's goals. We want to help people prepare for jobs in the future and support employers in building sustainable local economies. Our $100,000 investment is a big step towards addressing the skilled trade shortage in this region. And I'm sure they want anybody that's in the trades to bank with them. So that's that one. Good for Cornwall. Next up. You know this guy. Oh, well, that's not him, but Mike Holmes. How do we solve the skilled trade shortage in Canada? Homes on Homes, podcast, season 5, episode 1. So why are more young people choosing the trades? There is a serious issue facing our industry today, and it's something I've been talking about for years. Me too, by the way, Mike. Me too. We simply don't have enough skilled workers to meet demand. The skilled trade shortage in Canada is affecting everything from home building and renovation to essential infrastructure. If we don't act now, it's only going to get worse. It is worse. It's worse now. Like, the action should have been happening 20 years ago. That's why we kicked off Season 5 of Homes on Homes podcast with one of the most important topics we've ever covered. Why is there a shortage of skilled trades workers? How VR training and education can help solve the problem. VR training? Oh, you blew it, man. I was really hyped for that, but then all of a sudden you talk about VR training. In this episode, I'm joined by my daughter, Sherry Holmes, contractor and advocate for women in trades, Frank Maleka, a high school renovation teacher, and Judith Nyman, secondary school, and Sean Smith, chief operating officer at Logical Docs, who's bringing VR trades training into classrooms across the country. All right. Not super long, 20 pages, maybe 50. It covers several thousand years, though. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Mike Rowe was offering skilled trades scholarships. I think so. I know he's a big proponent of it as well. Yes, Gap, it is too little too late. They're panicking now. You'll join us when you're old enough, probably welding. Hey, that's all right, B17. You know, there's different kinds of welding you can do. There's TIG welding, which is really neat, and it takes a fine hand. You can also do stick welding or wire welding. Wire welding is like for production. You just pour that wire into the welds. And you can even do soldering, silver solder, brazing, cutting. There, you can also get into fabrication, which requires some welding, but you're mostly tacking things together. But you can get into some really good creative things by designing and such like that, where you can just fab up stuff. It's really good. We can't understand the problem without understanding what's driving it. The shortage of skilled trades workers isn't new, but the latest data shows us how serious it's become. Fewer young people are choosing careers in the trades, while older workers are retiring. Yes, we knew that already. I've always said that to you guys. The boomers are retiring, and they don't have anybody coming behind them. You were considering dive welding because you've always loved the sea. Well, yeah. You can do your welding and then do your underwater welding after that. You know, learn how to scuba diving and all that. You work off a coast on oil rigs and such. Fewer younger people are choosing careers in the trades while older workers are retiring. We look at the latest numbers from Stats Canada. The data is clear. Between 2016 and 2021, the number of skilled workers over the age of 65 went up by nearly 12%. Meanwhile, youth participation in the trades dropped by over 12%. That's a big red flag. The experienced workforce is retiring, and we're not seeing enough new talent entering the industry to replace them. This is a serious concern for the future of safe, high-quality construction in Canada. And the U.S., of course. And here's a chart. It shows the age distribution of tradesmen in Canada. So let's see. What's the blue mean? Oh, okay, so orange is 2016 and blue is 2021. So it's gone down 15 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44 went up. 45 to 54, this is the demographic I'm in. And yeah, it's gone down since 2016. At 50, this one is, it's even, 55 to 64. And then 65 and older went way down. But, like I've told you guys before, it's all demographics. They could have seen this a long time ago. VR for beginners is not a bad idea as long as you don't graduate just doing VR. Yes. I'm not exactly sure what they plan to do as far as that goes. But, I mean, if it's just showing them like the inside of an engine or something like that, or inside a compressor, if they want to follow hydraulic lines and valves and see how they work, go ahead, do it that way. You thought I was in my early 30s off of how I sound. Yeah, thanks, B17. I get that quite a bit, actually. What's keeping young people out of the trades? There are a lot of reasons why fewer youth are choosing a career in construction or skilled trades. Most of them have nothing to do with the work itself. Before we can attract new talent, we need to understand the barriers. Outdated perceptions are holding us back. One of the biggest reasons for the shortage is the way we talk about the trades. Too often, skilled trades careers are seen as a last resort or a backup plan. That couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is skilled trades are essential jobs. We need electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, and other professionals to keep our homes and cities running. These careers are hands-on, well-paying, and incredibly rewarding. It's time we treated them that way. They removed shop class from many schools here. Oh, that's terrible. I'm still in my 20s based on my anime taste. Thanks, Nico. And don't forget to tune in on Sundays for Sunday Anime Chat, where we'll talk about awful anime in April. And then on Saturday is game day, where I play some retro games, and this time it's Donkey Kong Climber for the DS. So a little shameless plug there for you guys. I do the weekend morning stream. Okay, see you around, Aris. Take care, buddy. We'll see ya. Yes, Gap, we do need the trades. It's very important. In many schools, students aren't introduced to the trades until it's too late. By the time they're encouraged to consider them, they've already made other plans. That's why programs like Judith Nyman Secondary School's Skilled Trades Rotation Program are so important. They give grade 9 students hands-on experience early so they can see what a career in the trades really looks like before we ask them what they want to do for a living. Yeah, and I had shop class when I was in grade 8. We had what was called industrial education, and then halfway through the year, we'd switch over and do home economics, which taught us how to sew, how to cook, all that kind of stuff. It was good. It was a good exposure. The only trades classes in your school you know of is auto tech. Oh, okay, yep. I could see that. We had, I took auto mechanics in grade 11 and 12 as well. Virtual reality is changing how we train skilled workers. We can't talk about the future of trades without talking about technology. One of the most exciting parts of the podcast episode was learning about how virtual reality is being used to train students in the trades. Sean Smith from Logical Doc showed us how VR can create immersive, realistic environments where students can practice everything from wiring a circuit to framing a wall without needing a full job site setup. This kind of virtual reality construction training makes the trades more accessible, safer, and scalable for schools. It'll help students gain confidence and technical skills before they even pick up a tool in the field. I agree, it makes it safer. You know, you don't want to send a rookie out onto the job site that doesn't know anything. There's no freshman trade classes? Really? You didn't have crap for trades classes when you were in school? You only learned the stuff from your dad? Oh, man, Godzillionaire. I was quite fortunate. We had, like after industrial education in grade 8, then we moved on to grade 9. I took electronics. I built a freaking strobe light. So that was pretty cool. And then in grade 10, we had drafting. So I did some drafting. So a lot of drawing and stuff like that. It was pretty good. And then in grade 11 and 12, it was auto mechanics. So got exposed to quite a bit of different trades. You can see VR getting more kids interested in the trades, but it's no way to learn. That's true. Are they going to put it out for the PS5? We do that. Get the old, just buy a disc of Blu-ray or whatever, a VR Blu-ray. Surprised forklift operator's not on the list? Well, let's see. They gamify the VR things. They have a lot more students. Yeah, that's right, Nico. Make it fun, right? Then really let them down when they go out into real life. For schools that don't have access to full shop classes or construction equipment, VR grade training can level the playing field. It's scalable, flexible, and tech forward, which makes it more appealing to young people growing up in a digital world. It's also a great way to introduce trades to students who might never have considered them otherwise. We are not teaching forklift drivers on a VR headset. Got really upset over that one there, B17. GTA 6, Great Trade Apprentice. Yeah, we'll get that one before the actual GTA 6, right? VR Forklift Trainer came out before GTA 6. Workplace casualties will skyrocket. Not all trades are facing the same shortage. Some areas are especially desperate for new workers, and they come with big opportunities for anyone willing to step in. If you're wondering which trades offer the most opportunity, here are a few areas with growing demand. Electricians, plumbers, carpenters, HVAC technicians. You guys remember, I've always said HVAC is the way to go. Welders, roofers. Many of these trades are essential for building and maintaining homes, which means demand will only keep growing. But remember, the more competitive is, the harder the barrier to entry. Fabric, how you doing, man? You made it. Train forklift drivers using Switch 2. Yeah, there you go. Use the, the Joy-Cons. You can move around and everything like that. Didn't Shenmue have an overly long forklift minigame? I can't remember. I didn't play Shenmue. It would be a good one, though. I'd like to get that for the Dreamcast. Many of these trades are essential for building and maintaining homes, which means demands will only keep growing. But remember, the more competitive is, the harder the barrier to entry. Right. On the other hand, some of the trades that are least popular right now, like masonry, are actually the ones with the biggest job opportunities. That's why it's so important to give young people real exposure to the wide range of careers available in construction and skilled trades. If you want strong communities and safe homes, we need to support the people who build them. This starts with investing in education, mentorship, and training opportunities for your youth interested in the trades. We need to give students the chance to explore these careers early, ideally in high school. That's why professionals like Frank Maleka come in. He's helping students get exposed early in the trades, as well as the proper training to graduate feeling confident as you enter the field. Programs like these are essential for bridging the gap and inspiring the next generation of trades professionals. Well, they're not going to be running a job when they first graduate and go start. It's going to be like, hey, kid, you're helping me. You're a helper. Clean this, sweep up that, chop these up. So it's not going to be like they're running the whole job. They re-released Shenmue on Switch 1 and 2 are... Oh! Damn, thanks, Godzillionaire. I did not know that. Using Atari 2600 to teach them. It's not even a joke anymore. You saw some kid on YouTube become a farmer because of Farming Simulator. Well, as long as it doesn't give them wrong things to do, you can make a simulator that is true to life. The WEF has told you we just need to let immigrants come in and build houses for us. Yeah. Oh, you meant Steam. Oh, okay. Thanks, Godzillionaire. I'll believe that you are lying because I need some kind of faith in humans right now. Yes, they're trading in broom and porta potty, dustpan, whatever. We all have a part in changing conversation around all the trades. Parents and teachers play a big role in shaping the next generation career choices. Parents especially. You know, when a kid tells a parent what they want to do and the parent's like, you're an idiot. You don't want to do that. Or no, you want to do something better. So that's the influence the parents have on the kids. You need to empower them with the information and tools to help students see the value of skilled trades, not as a backup plan, but as a first choice. It was my first choice. You became an engineer because of Star Trek? Damn you, Scotty. Oh, that's great, Godzillionaire. You're following me in my footsteps. Now you just got to get on a starship. I've always said that building it right means building with the right people, and that starts with investing in skilled trades education and giving young people the tools and encouragement they need to succeed. The skilled trades aren't just jobs, they're careers. Yes, they are a career with purpose. And if we want a future with safe, sustainable homes and communities, we need to start by supporting the people who build them. Yes. Okay, and that was Mike Holmes. That was a long one. Whew. You ever just grab a shovel and dig through the porta potty toilet bowl to find someone dropped items? No. No, never done that. I let the sucker, the guy that comes by with the truck and sucks out, he can find whatever he wants. I'm not going in there. Okay, you know what now? It's picture time. It's picture time. But before we get to that, something I haven't done in a while, and that would be a commercial.
Oh, hey there everybody. How are you? Well, I don't always play video games, but when I do, I make sure to safely make a safety save in a safe environment. And if you don't know how to make a safety save, well then make sure you check out Pop Culture Mechanics, 9 a.m. Mountain Time and 10 a.m. Central on Saturday mornings, where you can learn how to make a safety save that you might be so excited you could dance if you wanna. So, come on and check out Pop Culture Mechanics on Saturday mornings. Going to see you there. Bye.
Finally! Yes! Whew! My God! Nice, Punk Waddle. Or actually, that was Drunk Waddle. So yeah, did a little bit of an ad break. You should teach kids that whatever their job, career ends up being, ask yourself, would it be useful during a zombie apocalypse? Yes, or if we lost power, or if there was a solar flare and we wiped out all the satellites, all that kind of stuff. Safety saves, you got her, DJ. I always like the safety save. Your experience may vary, yeah. Thought it was a Stewart voiceover for a sec. Nope, we got good old Drunk Waddle there. He's everybody's favorite penguin, Punk Waddle. He helped me out with that one. That was great. I really appreciate that. Do safety saves come with side effects? Not at all. The side effect is you don't have to restart from the beginning. Okay, so the title of the stream was A Pipe Snapping Good Time. I'm going to show you some pipe snapping good times. Hardcore gamers will whine that you're not doing it right. Let me get set up here. No power, so no cell phones. Like you said, zombie apocalypse. Yep. And boink. Wintertime. There was a strange formation on the side of this pillar. And I was like, well, that doesn't look right. This one over here, that looks okay. That one over there, that looks okay. This one seemed a bit strange. And then it occurred. This is a busted pipe that spilled all the water all over the place, and it froze because this was taken in the middle of winter, February, I believe. And yeah, frozen. You had a lot of pipes burst this winter, going to give you PTSD. Oh no, Fabric, sorry man. Tell me there are aliens involved and not the ones from us. Mold. Okay, so this is what we refer to as a Victaulic coupling. And it's more like they call it groove lock. They can call it groove lock piping. It's how it's held together. And as you can see, there is the heat tracing. So the pipes are supposed to have heat tracing, but if the heat tracing fails, there's no power going to it, the pipe is going to freeze up, and it did. There's another shot of it. So yeah, this orange thing here is the Victaulic clamp that goes over top. And there is a rubber gasket under that. And this thing clamps down and holds the pipes together. There's grooves cut in the pipe. You can't see them because they're filled with ice right now, but there are grooves that are machined into the pipe. And as you can see, there's insulation and everything around it, but unless this heat trace doesn't work, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to help. You don't care what you call it. The real term for that is OSHA violation. There was no violation here. Absolutely none. There was nothing. There was no rules broken at all. There's another shot of it. And I believe that what happened is the clamp cracked. At least I think so. Now you want orange sherbet. There's a better shot of it. Pulled back a bit. I had to peel off the insulation to get a look at it. There it is. So it's quite a long run. And where it broke is very hard to get at. It's on a hill. Of course it is, right? Of course it's on a hill. So there it is there. No, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, I thought I had more of that. So yes, what happened now is we had to remove this section of pipe with the crane and replace it with a new one. And to make sure it was supported properly. As you can see over here, this is where the pipe ends. At least one of them. So that one's been opened up. And then it looks like there's a bend in it. And then right there, opened it up again. So it took quite a bit of organization to get this taken out and replaced. That's going to be a PETA to get up there and fit. Yeah, it was. It really was, Godzillionaire. Looks like some remote Arctic island installation. It could in the wintertime, but it's not. It's in a major city. There's the remnants of the frozen. You can just see it clinging to that upright there. So that is the ice that leaked out of the broken pipe right here. And it leaked all down the side of the column. Make one giant icicle. And a big one. You ever notice this always happens in 3 feet or more snow? Yes. Yes, because it gets very cold. Like really cold in Alberta. Very cold. And you can see that this is ice that's in the pipe. So what you do is you call out a steam truck and they come out and they steam out the pipes. And once they did that, then you can remove the rest of the insulation, because that has to happen. You have to remove all that insulation around that pipe. And that gets taken off. The clamps get removed. The crane comes in, you lift it up, pull it out, drop in a brand new pipe, wrap the heat trace around it, and then get it re-insulated. So you have to call in insulators. They come in, they do their job and wrap it back up again. Or a sci-fi movie set like The Thing. There you go. You don't have to check my blood. I'm good. So yeah, I think we got a 60 or 80 foot aerial platform. And just went side to side when we picked it up. Yeah, what a mess. What a mess this was. It just goes to show you the power of ice or water. When water freezes, everything, when it gets cold, it's supposed to contract. But water's funny where when it freezes, it'll expand. And it's so strong, it just snaps things. Yeah, it was quite the mess. Ice, ice, baby. Yeah, that's for sure. So once this was all back together and insulated and everything like that, they just flowed through. We made sure the heat trace was on and working. Then they turned the pump on and whoosh, pump right through. You ever see the vid where they tried to contain ice inside a thick pipe while freezing? What I'm not telling you guys is the plant is on Gleesia. It exerted so much force that it tore the pipe threads clear off. Yeah, it would. Yep. With great kinetic force. Yep. Yeah, there is. I've watched a guy, I think he poured it inside something really compact, like a brick, a block of steel, closed it up, and then put like liquid nitrogen on it. And yeah, the water froze and just cracked that thing. There is nothing that stops ice. We're not real. We all live on Titan. Well, you know, it's the nicest one close to Jupiter. Oh, at the start of it's the start of Trade Stock, you can always see this. This is the pumps running with a ribbed belt, like it's a sprocket belt. Looks more like Europa. I'm a Ganymede fella myself. But I use this in part of my opening video. And yeah, it's a brand new pump being installed. And they decided to do, instead of direct coupling, they decided to do a cogged belt. And so we're testing it right now to see how it runs. Seemed okay. That's why it costs so much to call Canada, and their dollar is less because they're so far from the sun. Far from the sun, but close to the beaver hut. Oh, and for you guys, this is the settling pond that they put the dredge on. So all the human waste goes into this pond. You love the danger tape replacement. Well, we wanted to run it without the guard on, just to see if the belt would be okay. I mean, after that, we put the guard on. But this is the settling pond for the human waste, and this was a super windy day. I don't know if you can tell, but the wind is just pushing. It pushed that soft pipe boom here that we've got going out to the dredge, and it was just a terrible windstorm that day. One more time. You can watch it. Making a lot of waves. And this is what we call this is a grinder. This is the settling pond. So Parliament, yes, you know it, Fabric. That's the way. That's where they should go hang out. The thing is called a grinder. This where all that stuff from the settling pond gets pumped, comes through this grinder, and it grinds up everything. Like, you can't see it right now because it's covered in debris and human waste and other stuff, but it's got a bunch of teeth. And these teeth mesh together, and they just grind up everything to little bits. But not when it's like this. This is when it's all clogged up and it's got to be cleaned and then put back into service. So one of the jobs is cleaning the grinder. So what we're looking at right now is human waste mixed in with whatever else. But yeah, you can see these teeth here. Maybe not at the best picture because it's all coated. Parliament's more like a septic tank of an abandoned building. Yeah. I agree. I think that we should actually have a look at a grinder in action. You take it the internet cleans the grinder? Yeah, if they wish. Pressure wash with a mask? How did we clean that? Yeah, I guess we just would use some high pressure wash. Just some high pressure water. The intern cleans it. Yeah, you send the rookie over there and like, hey, you got to clean this. What was I going to do? Oh, yes. Let's take a peek here. There's got to be something about that. The internet cleans the other kind of grinder? Oh, I get it. Here we go. This'll be much better. Oops. Nope, don't do that. There we go. Okay, check this out, guys. Let's do this. When you worked for your dad, was supper, he may go into the boiler room and clean it all. Oh, okay. He was a super. Okay. This is it here. This is what it looks like when it's clean. See, they have all those teeth, and it just turns that stuff into, it just turns it into this. Whatever you put in there, you get belts, leather belts. And that gets chewed up. Put a little Dawn on it. Some stuff sticks to the teeth. Oh, it even did the tennis balls. Look at that. Yeah. So that's what that thing does. That grinder just grabs anything. Wood, it doesn't care. It's going to just grab it and just chew it up. Tampons, okay. More tampons, okay. What if you put your wife in it? Yeah. That's pretty horrific there, Nico. Give it a hand. There you go. It's aluminum cans. Don't recycle them. Chew them up. Whatever that is, I'm not sure. They didn't do a very high def capture for this video. But as you can see, it just grinds everything. It don't care. It costs extra, yeah. There you go. Fruits. Shoe. What do they do with everything? It gets chewed up. It gets separated out, Gap. At least where I was at, anything that got chewed up and sent down the line would get It would get sent to a centrifuge, and the liquid would get separated from the solids. So the solids would get turned into, it would be solid waste. That would be sent to a holding tank, and then the water would get sent back to the pond. Oh, here you go. Blankets? Is this a blanket? Yes, U.S. Army blanket. It's called a Bogota divorce. If you chew up the cans, you can melt them and recycle them at home. Yeah, you could. Yeah. I've never seen one where the guy got snagged by the mulcher. Yeah, I would not want to see that. That's pretty horrific. What happens if you throw a bunch of shoelaces in? It shouldn't be too bad. It should be... It shouldn't be too bad. It should eat that stuff no problem. Shoelaces shouldn't be. Okay, there you go. You can even reverse it. Oh! He's doing water bottles full of water. I don't think you needed to put full of water, but okay. What's this, a chair? It's a chair with cushions. Or a couch. Looks like it's IKEA. Most random thing to shred, but it's fascinating. Yeah. You bought a cheap but huge ass blanket you'd bring to Korea if you had to be on MASH. These things don't stop. They're geared so low that nothing stops them. You used to follow the garbage truck and watch them if you saw furniture by the curb. Oh, yeah. There's a pallet. The guy's putting a pallet in there. Yeah. Turning it into toothpicks. Look at that. Well, they must have something that's a little better quality video. These are the guys that make them, by the way. They're called JWC Environmental, and they make these things. 240p? That's it? Oh, man. Oh, well. Yeah, more of the same stuff, really. They gotta invest in some higher def cameras, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. That's the grinder in action. Sweet tetanus toothpicks. Yeah. All right, fellas. I think I'm going to call her a night here. I appreciate you guys coming and joining me. Please don't forget, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Tell them old Pop's here. You know, I'm here Saturdays and Sundays and on Tuesday nights. I want to thank you all who came out today. And there's other channels out there, people I personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414 and DJ Ronnie G, who happens to be in the chat. You want to see his Monday show on Thursday. There's Brandon, the anime guy. There's Carl at the RNG podcast. There's Tomby. There's Angry Canadian, Nerdpoil Lifeform. There's everyone's favorite penguin, Punkwaddle. And Infinite Metal. You can find him on Kick and Twitch. He's a good retro streamer. Really funny. Coming up Saturday, that's game day. I'm going to be playing retro game on the DS for Donkey Kong Climber. Watching the grinder chew up things was very satisfying. Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to make something big into something small. Use the old grinder. That thing just doesn't stop. And man, it's just vicious, the teeth on that thing. And then Sunday is Sunday Anime Chat. Awful April. I'm going to tell you which shows I think are awful and which one that you should avoid them. So it's not often I do that. I usually talk about shows I really like, but I decided for April, only an April Fool would watch these shows. So why would you guys have one dedicated to human feces? How much Indian food do you eat? It's for everything else that people flush. Fabric. People flush just unreal stuff. Just stuff you wouldn't imagine. But yeah, it ends up there and it gets chewed up. Only one person liked your last X post and it's a good one. Yeah, DJ, awful April. Should I take the last Sunday of awful April off? Just to appreciate the awfulness. Well, I'll try to do my best to bring you the awfulness. And then after that, we're back to Tuesday again. More trades talk. Your industrial stream, where you can see stuff that not the average person gets to see in their lifetime. So come on out. We'll have a good time like we did today. Thanks, Scap. Glad you appreciate it. I'm glad you guys came along. I'm glad everybody came along. I hope you guys had a fun time because I did. And I hope to see you guys on the weekend. If not, maybe next Tuesday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.